Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on Capital Ship Review, right behind me, we have the RSI Polaris. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, welcome back to another review. Now, before we get started with the Polaris here, this is a big one. This review's going to be definitely more than 10 minutes, but we're going to try our best to keep it short. Now, before we do that, let's talk about being subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because you want to be notified about giveaways as well as future reviews and other videos and live streams. It's really fun lately. The live streams, I've been having a blast with you guys. So make sure you subscribe. Like the video. I appreciate it. It just tells me that I'm doing something right. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into the review of the RSI Polaris, the Roberts Space Industries Polaris. This ship is huge. It is a massive ship. Now, talking about the price point, previously it was $750. We do not know where it's going to land for the live release. More than likely, it's going to break the $800 mark, and that's because this ship is massive. And I'm going to say that a lot during this video here. She's big, she's going to be pricey, and she outputs a ton of damage, but not so much for the pilot. The pilot has no DPS. There's no damage per second for the pilot when it comes to guns. There's no gun control for the pilot. The only thing the pilot does have control over is 16 size 3 Arrestor 3 pilot missiles, and that's it. That's all you got. So, at least he has something. He can fire off some missiles, or the co-pilot can do that if, you want them to do that. And that's pretty much it. Now, moving into other damage, outputs here. We do have a total of 10,592 turret damage per second. So all the turrets on the ship, from the one underneath the bridge, the 2 size 6 bespoke ballistic cannons, and then you have 8 size 4 Omsky 12 laser cannons, as well as 12 size 3 CF337 Panthers. That's a lot of turret firepower, and so you can really man this thing up and output massive amount of damage. But that's kind of the point you got to make with yourself here, is you do need a team, and we're not going to see AI, crews or NPC blades, nothing like that for a while. So if you're buying this ship, you either know you're going to be running packages alone, or you're going to be running around the ship trying to man these things, or you're a part of an org, or you just have a lot of friends, or even just 1 or 2 friends. You can have a lot of fun with this thing. Now, that's not to say you can't have fun with it without, but anybody. You can definitely still run packages, so don't put that behind you. Now, outside of that, this ship does have 12 Ignite 2 missiles on a remote turret in the back, and also 28 size 10 Polaris torpedoes. Ooh-wee, that is a lot of torpedoes, and the biggest torpedo in the game. These things are huge. Now, they're called the Polaris torpedoes. They don't have like a name yet. Sooner or later, they probably will. That'll probably change, the video release, and you'll be like, oh, there's a name for them already, so expect that. They come out the front, and you can't control it by any of the seats in the cockpit. There's a dedicated torpedo station, which we will check out once we go into the interior here, where you would fire those torpedoes. And you have like a remote turret view, to where you can pretty much fire those the torpedoes at any angle, and the torpedo will release and, track. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. Now, moving past the firepower here. Oh, almost forgot. This one's a new one when it comes to ship reviews, and it's going to start becoming something you're going to see a lot on ships sooner or later. A lot of ships are going to get this. You have 7-point defense cannons. So What that is a kind of like think of like an AI crew member, right? Except for it doesn't control any of your turrets or, any of your weapons on the ship. But you do have these little point defense system weapons on your ship that help defend against missile or torpedo attack. Now, those missile or torpedoes, obviously, they have to be locked onto you for the point defense system to track it. So once they are, you'll see that it actually does track and eliminate a good 50 to 70% of those torpedoes, and a lot of that's server dependent, so make sure you kind of realize that if you're in a server that's maybe not doing so well, those might not track as well as you'd expect. But during my test with about 7 or 8 viewers of mine in one of my live streams, it actually did really good. Only a few missiles made it through, and I really liked that. It was pretty fun, so pretty cool. It does have 7 of those. Now, moving on to its defensive capabilities outside of weapons, you do have 454,000 quadrant shield. It's a massive shield, allowing you to just take hit after hit after hit before, actually going down. And then you have 3,947,100 ship HP. Again, you're looking at a massive amount of health pool as well as a massive shield amount, and that's just totally bonkers. Who needs that much to go run a package, right? Yeah, who am I kidding? It's going to be tons of fun, and I'm really going to enjoy that. Now, looking at what it can do for cargo, you can carry 576 SCU of cargo on the hangar bay floor as well as underneath. You got the cargo floor as well, and that's pretty cool. We're going to check out all these rooms here in a second, but yeah, I do like that. It's a lot of cargo you can carry around with you while you're running some pizzas around the verse. And then you have a top speed of 145 SCM with a 250 forward boost and a 155 backwards boost and a 940 nav speed. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a good chance that's going to change. Now, maybe not right now, but later down the road it might. I mean, if you look at the Star Lancer's got a top speed of 115 SCM. Something seems a little backwards here. So don't take that as concrete. Honestly, any one of these stats can change. That goes without saying for any ship. Now, you have a pitch yaw roll of 15, 15, 25. That is absolutely terrible on paper. But if you actually fly this ship, it feels really good. She maneuvers actually quite well because, its size, you're thinking, whoa, this thing's going to turn slower than slow. It actually feels pretty good, which was quite surprising. So, expect a better time in that department. If you're looking at paper stats and then you go in and you try it in game, it feels a bit better than that. So I appreciate that. Now, they just updated the SCU hydrogen fuel. So now it's 1,100 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 12 SCU of quantum fuel. Again, I'm sure these numbers are going to be changing a lot between now and the live release. Well, potentially. Maybe this is the final stats. And then there's potential for another balance pass down the road once they realize, this isn't where we want this ship to be. Now that we've released 4 more capitals, this ship might be overpowered or this ship's just not powerful enough. So expect that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring us into the interior here, and let's take a look around. We are in the bridge right now. This is your main command control center for your ship and its crew. And what I mean by that is you have the pilot seat right here. This is going to control, the ship, which is great. Over here, you have the co-pilot seat, which I'm going to show you something really cool right now. This is some new stuff that we're seeing, and I really appreciate it and hope we can see this more for any ship, that we have in the game. If you look to your right here, you can control 4 panels inside the hangar that come up. They're like blast panels that help if you're launching a ship or something, or you can control the hangar door itself from right here, as well as a remote camera. So you just click on that and you can take a look at your hangar. Now what I mean is, look right at the center of the camera there, right at the center of the camera right there, over there, and over here. Now I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to go ahead and hit that one, that one, that one, and that one. Go back in here, and those are now all up. Those are pretty cool. It helps protect your crew, while they're out there working if there's a ship landing, or potentially could be barricades for a FPS environment as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and put those back down and show you that you can control the door of the hangar itself just by pressing the middle button, which is also just a phenomenal thing. Why? Oh, why is this not on the Carrack? Please do this. This is just amazing. I mean, I want it on the Moby Glass personally. We have garage door openers right now for our cars. Why do we not have some sort of thing for our Moby Glass? Maybe someday. But this is a good step in the right direction, having the control where the pilot is instead of only at like the area of the hangar. So I do like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and close that up so we don't have any visitors while we're running around this ship. Let's go ahead and head out of this seat here. Now, again, there's a couple seats here, and I'm going to show you what each one of them does. This is the captain's chair. Has no control really over anything other than some power systems and whatnot. You're primarily going to sit here just be like, you know, pilot go that way, co-pilot shoot missiles that way, because, you know, the co-pilot can shoot some of those size 3 missiles, and that's kind of cool. Now, if we head over to this chair here, we're going to go ahead and hop in, turn on the power, and see what this one controls, which should be a turret. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Got to go ahead and get the power on and enter that remote turret. As you can see, it is a lovely turret. This one here is the rockets at the back of the ship. So if I were to go ahead and... Oh, I broke it. Don't go into scan mode because that stops it from working. I know there's a way to fix it, but I do that every time. So you can go ahead and exit that. That does control the remote rockets in the back, though. Now, if you head over here, go ahead and hop in this chair. And we'll power it on and see what this one controls. It's pretty cool. I love the setup of this cockpit. It feels a little empty at times, but it's definitely not bad. Now, this is the underside turret that's located on the bottom of the ship. So, gotta like that. Oh, that's right. I don't have the ship in SCM mode, so I can't technically fire. But there are 4 size 3 CF337 Panthers on this, and it gives you a little bit of protection underneath, so I definitely don't mind that. And you have a couple point defense systems under there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hop out of this chair, and let's go ahead and start walking down the hallway. Now, if you kind of look around, things feel a little bland. And you're going to see this a lot throughout the ship. I'm not sure if there's an interior pass that still needs to happen, adding a few other things. You know, it just feels a little empty. But it still has a lot of great detail when you're looking around, and that's something to really enjoy. So you have some component access areas here where you can shove some bodies or you know, put some small vehicles if you want to, if you bring some small hovercraft up here. This looks to be some sort of, you know, cartography table, just not operational at the time, which is too bad. This is a mirrored area of that same component door there. Nice little fire extinguisher on the wall. Now, if we walk through this door here, as you can see, you have a bunch of escape pods. This is pretty nice because you're going to have quite the crew up here, and you're going to make sure they have a way to get off the ship. We're going to continue on through this door. This ship has a lot of doors, by the way, so get ready for that. To the right, you will have a nice little room here. This goes into your armory, allowing you to, you know, get your guys ready to go, which is kind of surprising where this is located, but I don't mind it. You also have suit lockers here. Big weapon, heavy weapon storage right here, which is nice, and a bench. So pretty good. Again, you know, it's a military ship, so it's very gray, very gunmetal gray, and definitely nothing wrong with that at all. Now, right here is an elevator, so I guess your troops could arm up and then go straight to the elevator and go straight down. Don't mind that. But we're going to continue down this hallway and keep taking a look at a lot more of the rooms around here. Right here is going to be the first fuse relay area that you run into, so you can open this up, replace what you need to, and then close it back up right here. Now, if we turn around, this is the captain's quarters, which currently is locked. They're not ready to release this room yet, and, you know, that's probably when we're going to see a little bit more of a pass on some of the other rooms here, more than likely. Now, moving further back, you do have access to more turrets. These are manned turrets. If we go ahead and enter this seat here, you'll get an idea of where this one comes from. So let's go ahead and give that a look really quick. These are the size 4 Omsky laser cannons at the top. So you go ahead and hop in here, and you have of course, a quad turret with them. So that's pretty nice. You know, the turret view isn't bad at all. Let me go ahead and power it on so I can at least move it around. There we go. So the turret view is definitely not bad. And you got, I mean, it's a little bit of a view there. You can turn off the lights here, turn them on, off. That's pretty neat. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. Definitely not terrible. You don't have the most the best view up top, but otherwise the view all around is pretty good. So you're going to be able to engage targets at the side and everything. So this is, of course, mirrored on the other side. Right there you have another quad cannon. So the door across from this will be the same thing. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Some more defensive capabilities. So far we've seen some of the CF337 Panthers, and that's all of the Omsky 12 laser cannons. So we'll continue down the room here. Now, going down the hallway, you're going to have a fire extinguisher on the left. You know, these things are littered everywhere, which is good, because this is one of those ships that will definitely light on fire, and you're going to need it. Walk through the door on your left here, and you'll see you have another relay area. So, more relays. And then you have a little bit of plants. That's kind of nice. A little bit of plants here. And we're going to open up our first door to the left here. Once that's open, you can see it's just some crew area, which is pretty cool. 2 beds, and you have accessible storage, which is nice. I always like that. And that's for any crew room has that accessible storage, and there's 2 of them. As well as a little bench here, and each room has a bathroom, a toilet. Now, what's really cool about this, we have working, and I'm not going to say the word mirror because you're going to get corrected very quickly. It is a TV screen with a camera. So make sure you be careful what you're doing in front of this inappropriate mirror or TV screen and camera. But it's pretty cool. This is nice. I mean, this is what I would expect it to be 900 years in the future. A closed loop TV camera system with no real way to have a connection outside of it, so it's not creepy in any way. So, but maybe not. Mirrors work fine. Why would you need to upgrade something so simple, right? Now moving forward, again, a lot of these are just a crew room. So same thing, copy, paste. Last time I said that about the Starlancer video, I was a little bit wrong. 2 of the rooms do have some a little bit of extended area, but these rooms, I believe, are all the same. But we're going to take a look at each and every one of them. Now, we're going to go ahead and turn around once we're done here looking at each and every one of these rooms and go back to the door that's across from this one and see what's over there. Again, like I said, they were replicated. That door goes out to the hallway near the hangar, so we'll go over there in just a moment. Let's go ahead and head back out this door. Now, if we head right across from here, you have the area that would be good for your crew to hang out, eat food, shoot the crap, the conversation, play a little bit of chess, sit down, enjoy a good time, and a crafting area for your food station. So that's pretty nice. What is that, like ice cream? And moving on over here, you have like a nice little private area you can sit down and FaceTime your family. Right now, obviously, you can't do that, but it's pretty neat. I like that. So very enjoyable, something you'd expect. And then another relay station. Man, we haven't even touched the surface of this ship yet. Now, I'm going to go through this door, which was a mistake, because now I'm confusing you. That's the hallway we just came down. So, door on the right, hab, door on the left is where, we just came from. So, now we'll continue on straight ahead. So, this says Hangar 1. Well, there's really technically only one hangar, but there's also like a cargo bay, which I guess you can consider a hangar in a way, but not really. But this is the hangar that we did see, and I didn't close that door, and that's okay. If you didn't close the door, you could always come out here and close it manually, which you do have access to do so. You just got to run over to the little switch right here, and bada boom. So now that'll start closing, and we'll be all set. So we're going to continue on with this. It's a very nice, sizable hangar area. This does fit quite a few ships. We tested a Cutlass Black. No go. We tested an F8. It does fit the F8 Lightning, and it fits it really well. You have this Scorpius, which you can fit 2 of them. You can fit a good amount of arrows, and you can fit a couple dozen or a dozen Furies in here, as well as plenty of other ships, including the Prospector, the Vulture. You can fit those. You can fit a Terrapin. There's a lot of things you can fit in this area. Now, in here, you do have 2 elevators here, one here and one over here. This one's down, the other one's up, obviously. Again, like I said, you can put cargo on here. This does have a cargo grid, as well as the ramps don't, which is too bad. You'd think they would, just because it would make it easier to bring cargo up. Now, we'll go down there in just a moment, but we're going to come back through this door where we just came through. We're going to go ahead and take a right turn. So if we're to take a right turn right through this door, what do you see? You got a little bit of a ladder access. So that's ladder access. So if the elevators break down or something, you still have a way of getting up here. Now, if we take a right turn here, this will lead you to one of the 2 docking collars on the ship. So one right here, and then mirrored on the other side. Now, it's a pretty nice little docking collar area. I was actually quite surprised when I saw this, even though I should have known it was there. And then moving further back, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next door. This is another manned turret, so we'll go ahead and enter this. This one pops out of the side, very stealth-like. So if I were to come over here and kind of see if I could show you... There it is. So it comes out the side there. That's very cool. I really like that. Some good detail. And that is replicated on the other side as well. Here is also a quad cannon with the CF337s. So you got to like that. And it's got a pretty decent fire angle. So very nice. Especially if you are, on the ground like this and you need to have coverage for whatever you're loading. You could just sit here and just guard mode all day long. It doesn't even have to be for anti-air. It can definitely be anti-ground. So I really appreciate that. So we're going to hop out. Again, this is mirrored on the other side, and that's very cool. So that's a very neat looking area. I love that. Let's go ahead and hop out of that chair really quick. Whee! Little roller coaster ride. Nothing like that. And then if we go ahead and head back in, another relay station. This ship is chock full of relays, so expect that to be something you are looking out for when you fly this thing, when you have to repair. Then you have a couple more escape pods here, so if your turret gunners need to hop out, or medical staff or crew. Another fire extinguisher. Moving on through this next door. Speaking of medical staff and crew, you go to probably the one and most only bland medical room in the game. So you have a nice little medical desk here with rotating circles. It's just buffering. And then over here, you have 2 medical beds on each side, and you can set your spawns there, of course, as well as take care of any medical issues. Now, it's mirrored on the other side, and what I say about bland is this just feels very unfinished. If you take the Carrack, for example, by the way, accessible storage on each side, the medical rooms have side rooms for the doctors, for their medicines, for their testing, for all that. This has nothing. This feels like a prisoner's medical room, pretty much. It's very, very empty. The detail is not as high as you'd think it would be, so maybe they'll add more to this, but I just don't know. Maybe they'll have to remove one of the beds on each side and add a little bit more detail there. I don't know what their plan is for that. Maybe not. Now, if we continue through this door here, we're going to just keep on walking. Lots of doors, lots of bulkheads, keeping this thing safe if you start getting some hull breaches. Right here is engineering, which we will take a look at here momentarily. It's got quite the look, too. So we'll come down here and take a quick sneak peek. It's very awesome. That's quite the engine room. So we're going to move across the way first before we do so. That is the elevator to get down to engineering. Now, if we go ahead and go to the side that you would think is mirrored most of the way, primarily it is, but instead of a medical room, you have a brig. So you do have an onboard jail, which is pretty cool. If you need to throw a crew member in here, because they're acting out, they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, or you're on a bounty hunt and you capture somebody, you can absolutely do that. I'm not going to head in here because I'll probably get trapped and I'll be upset. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Gotta like it. Nice little area so you can put some food in there if need be. You gotta like that. And go ahead and close that up. Now, if you go over here, this also is a live feed, just like the bathroom cameras. If there's somebody in there, it absolutely shows up on here, as you can see. So that is pretty cool. Now, again, mirrored over here, just room number 2. Now, we'll head out of here and head over to engineering, as well as the next floor of the ship. There's quite a few floors to the ship. There's a lot going on. So far, out of all the stats and the little bit of time I've had to fly this thing, there's only really one big negative for me. Now, obviously, here's an engineering terminal. Obviously. Now, obviously, the ship's going to require quite the crew requirement, but that's not a negative point. That is just a fact. So you have fire extinguisher here. You have more relays. And then throughout the ship, you're going to have a lot of component areas and stuff, but primarily they're going to be over here. Here is a component access area, as it says. Open that up. I like the little detail. The little detail is always phenomenal. I love that. Jump drive system. And right here you have the grav core. That's cool. Don't stick your hand in that. Nothing in that medical room is going to fix you up after doing that. Oh, that is just really cool though. I like the detail. I really do. Another relay station here. And then right here you have another engineering terminal with this wicked looking power cell or something. I really like that. It's like a massive capacitor. And then down here, you have access to that elevator that you saw just up the floor above us, as well as another engineering terminal, which it doesn't stop there. There's a couple more engineering terminals in here. You got to have a lot of these things to run this ship. So I feel like most of your crew count's just running the engineering portion of the ship. So let's go ahead and go to engineering really quick, and we'll check that out. I think I'm already on engineering. Let's go to cargo bay. They call it the cargo bay. I'll just go with it because it's the same level as the cargo bay. Now we go through here. You have this massive nuclear reactor, and it looks phenomenal. The detail is insane. And you have a ladder here, a ladder on the other side. And if you go up the stairs on either side, it's pretty much mirrored. You have a fire extinguisher right there. So another fire extinguisher. And then you have, of course, more engineering terminals. One here, one there, one over there. And then 3 on the other side replicated, as well as a relay area as replicated on the other side as well. Now you can go ahead and climb down this ladder, get a little bit of a different view down here. It's pretty neat. Gotta like it. You know, the water and everything for the reactor. So it's a very cool, very detailed engineering area. I feel like if their ships have like a limit to resources, they spent the budget here. Absolutely. They spent the budget here, and some of the other areas, you know, missed out, which is too bad. But this is really cool. I really do like it and can't wait to see how this comes into play once engineering everything's in. That almost looks like a little warp tunnel, doesn't it? Pretty neat, because that's some of the same effects you'd see when you're jumping. So, and then we just walked right into the cargo room. Nice. One door separates you from engineering and the cargo room. That's scary. Now, you do have, of course, the ramps that I was talking to you about. And then right here is those ladder rooms. It's replicated each side. So if for some reason your elevators are not working, you can definitely make that work going up the ladders. Now, right here, you do have a tractor beam terminal because this ship does have a tractor beam. I love it. It was right above us just a moment ago. So I'm going to go ahead and power it on. And from here, we should be able to access it. Where are you? Somewhere around here. Wearing the worst armor for this. Where did it go? I swear it was easier than this before. It's around here somewhere. It does work. Maybe I lost the button because it would be right here. Use. Okay, so the button, normally worked. I do have, here, I'll just put this video on for you. It does work, and it's right there. So it's pretty cool. I like that placement, which is really nice. It covers the whole cargo room. Ain't going to help you loading per se, but it's going to help you move around cargo from the interior. So pretty cool. And then here is, like I just said, it's your cargo area. So all your cargo is going to sit here or on the hangar door above. So pretty neat, pretty neat. Now let's go ahead and move forward. Right here is a elevator that just goes up and down from this little area here, or you can just use the little steps. Now here you have a fire extinguisher. On the other side, you do have another fuse relay area. These things are everywhere. Engineering is going to be something else. Right here is the loading bay for your torpedoes. Easy access from the cargo area to here, so for putting in new torpedoes won't be a problem, and they go right here. Now we're going to go ahead and head to the door to go to where you would actually fire these things. It's pretty neat. Go ahead and head through this door here. This is the main elevator here that we noticed in the beginning of the video towards the bridge. And as you can see, this is pointed out quite often right here, the way this goes through. I think the torpedoes load through the bottom, so technically, given the angle, it should slide underneath. This here doesn't go straight out here. I think this rotates and slides it through because you load it up top and then it rotates kind of like a revolver. So yeah, a cylinder on a revolver. It just rotates and then feeds through the bottom there and goes underneath the elevator and then continues on here, which loads into these tunnels, you know, like a torpedo room on a submarine. And from here, you have the torpedo console. You'd go ahead and enter it, you know, do your little clap first and hit the power button. and enter remote turret. See, that's what should have happened with the other one. So with the tractor beam, let's go ahead and enter this. So like I said, it's like a remote turret view, and you would just go ahead and do this. You know, you'd be able to target. So if we're facing that way, you'd be able to target a ship this way and fire the torpedo. It would come out of the tube here and, you know, angle and track. So that's pretty cool. I really do like that. And then we're going to continue on to the very last area of this ship, which is right through this door here. Now, this is the relay and fire extinguisher for this room, and the manned turret with the size 6 bespoke guns. They are big guns. Sadly, right now the DPS isn't as good as I feel like they should be. The guns feel very weak, honestly, and hopefully they'll get more and more powerful. I know it is a constant conversation right now for a lot of people. So we'll hopefully see these get a little bit more powerful over time, because they are massive guns and they should definitely hit harder. It's all about the balance pass that's going to happen, right? So let's go ahead and hop out of this. We're going to go ahead and take off, and we'll see what we can do about going off a little bit of its fight, and then giving you my score and ending the capital ship review of the Polaris. Now, as you can see, this thing can take a beating, no problem. The point defense system really helps out in eliminating a lot of torpedoes or missiles. But really quick, one thing I did forget to mention is this ship does also have a VTOL. Has nothing really to do with combat, but really helps with leaving atmosphere and stuff. So right now, if like I press the space bar, you can see it's just the minimal thrusters from the bottom. But if you press K on the keyboard and go ahead and hit it again, you have a lot bigger thrusters come into play. And they are beautiful. You gotta love that. So let's talk about my score with this ship here. This ship is quite an amazing vessel, and if you have a crew, it's even better. As you can see, I did take some damage. The PDS didn't take care of all the torpedoes, but it did take care of quite a few of them. Now, honestly, if I were to give this thing a score, just based off of its size, its might, its overall just demeaning like look, and its firepower. It's got immense firepower if you're just looking at the amount of turrets it has, and you know how much DPS they put out, as well as the amount of DPS that comes from those torpedoes and the rockets and everything else you have. This thing is just a beast. The biggest negative drawback is the interior is quite bland. It is a military Corvette. It's not going to be something just decked to the halls with, you know, plants and hot tubs and pools and whatnot, but there's certain areas that can definitely use some improvement. Honestly, this ship here for me is a straight 9 out of 10. Now, I would say that it would be a 10 out of 10, honestly, if that interior was just a little bit better. And I know only 1 point knocked for that interior. Yeah, well, you know, it's not the end of the world. You know, you do a lot of focus with a lot more aspects than just looking at what the medical room looks like, and I'm sure over time it will improve. So 1 point knock for that. No pilot DPS is always a big bummer, but no knock there because you do have so much DPS everywhere else on this ship. So let me know, what do you think of the Polaris down in the comments below. Have you gotten the chance to get in one yet? Fly one? Do anything with one yet? Do you plan on potentially buying one when it releases on the Pledge store? Let me know, because this ship is quite phenomenal, but it is going to require quite the crew if you really want to use it to its full potential. Well, guys, I thank you for watching. I really appreciate every one of you. You guys are truly amazing. And I will see you guys in the next one.